spoilers ahead for My Hero Academia, episode 16. We start this episode with some hilarity because Kirishima and Jeremy's favorite character, Tetsu, are pretty much the same character. So Kirishima is the guy that turns into rock, and Tetsu is the guy who turns into steel. And they're just...
The physics in this world make no sense because they're equally matched, apparently. But there's no way, like, if you had a hammer and a rock and made of metal and a hammer made out of rock, if you bang them together, the rock's gonna break.
Even though
no one's ever used a rock to chisel through metal.
Nope, never happened.
Never.
We left off the last episode where there was a face-off with everyone except for Todoroki, who's just skating through pretty easily. Everyone against the giant robots. Are these the same robots that they fought in that entrance exam back in the day?
Yep.
They got a little bit of experience with that. And
I like how Midoriya's like, what's the budget for these things?
Bakugo's just flying through on his little howitzer, whatever blast thing.
I don't understand how Todoroki is ahead of Bakugo. Like, I dislike him as a character, but flinging yourself forward with a series of explosions is way faster than ice skating.
Yeah.
Olympic level ice skating is slower than
taking off like a rocket.
Explosion hopping.
I don't know. Maybe he was just dicking around. I don't know what his deal was, but
yeah. Let's talk about one. I want to talk about physics for a second. When you shoot a gun, if you shoot a gun, like just go out in Kansas and shoot nothing, like just like aim at the horizon and fire, the bullet will hit the ground at the same time as if you just drop the bullet.
Right.
The forward motion does not slow the descent. And Bakugo is going parallel to the ground, which means he's going so fast that he can't that you don't even see. This guy is in low Earth orbit. That's fucking fast. The show should have been him waiting at the end before everyone else got out of that fucking hallway.
Yeah.
With Todoroki fighting whoever else was fast for second place.
I don't know how to. It just seemed like Todoroki was the first one to jump, so maybe that's how he got the quick lead. But I mean, Bakugo should have closed the ground quickly and surpassed him like instantly. So I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that Lita would have been a lot faster, but he's just like I don't know what he was doing. I think he was like, maybe his knee hurt or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So let me read you some names. John Smoltz and Matt Vasgersian. John Madden and Al Michaels. Jim Nance, Phil Simms. Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. Do you know what all those have in common?
Are all football players?
They're all announcing duos. And in this episode, the announcing duo of Present Mike and Eraserhead surpasses all of them. I love this duo. So it's... Present Mike is like the big vocal cords guy, and Eraserhead is sitting there completely wrapped in bandages, looking like a mummy from getting his ass whipped at the USJ incident. And every time Present Mike is like hyped up, yelling out everyone's names and everything, and Eraserhead's just like, why am I here? How did you drag me into this? He's just no-selling him on everything. It's great. I love it. Eraserhead's the man. I was very nervous he was going to die at the end of season 1. So
yeah,
they do.
Now there hasn't been a death so far in the series, has there?
No, I don't think so.
Did 13 die? 13 didn't.
No, I don't think she did.
No, she just had her suit like torn up by her own.
Yeah, she got obliterated, but she didn't die. So All Might, and to break up some of the action, All Might and Eraserhead are talking about how Class 1A, none of the other classes are particularly slow, but Class 1A learn not to hesitate from the run-in with the villains, and that's why they're bursting ahead of everyone.
Except for Lita, apparently. The guy has exhaust pipes in his legs, and he's not outrunning Midoriya or someone who's ice skating.
Deku has to make it through without using One for All because he'll break all his legs and arms and everything. Obstacle 2 is like this rope course over a canyon, And my two favorite gals in the series, Froppy and Hatsume. Hatsume's the crazy pink-haired chick that does all the gadgets.
Yeah,
I
I
love
like
her.
her.
You like her too?
Oh yeah.
They get across pretty quickly because obviously Froppy just, you know, going going quickly across the ropes. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Obstacle 3
The
is a
show isn't
minefield.
really yeah,
Go ahead.
the show isn't really clear how everyone's interacting. Like it seems like you should have had a bunch of people who are just trying to rush past the robots or just
Yep.
falling off like the rope course because someone else pushes them or like someone who tries to run across but doesn't have the balance to make it. I mean, because I think if I was like racing for riches and fortune, I didn't have a quirk for that. I'd be like, well, I'm gonna run as fast as I can, and if I make it, I make it, and I succeed. If not, at least I took my shot.
True.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't know, like you gotta go,
Yeah.
and then
Um,
at least you went out, shooting your shot,
yep.
and then you go back to school the next day because they're not getting expelled for poor performance unless they're in the hero course.
True. Do you want to go over Deku's plan in the minefield?
Yes, I do because I really like the plan. This is some galaxy brain shit, but
Yeah.
also like physics. Come on, please. So getting through the robots, Todoroki froze them all to kind of set a trap for everyone else.
Hmm.
And Bakugo, because he's a dumbass, punched one of them with an explosion instead of just flying past like he should have already been past them.
Yep.
Like he can't just fly 20 feet higher, but whatever. He's got spiky hair instead of brains.
Yep.
Well, he dislodges a panel from one of the robots, and Midoriya sees it and picks it up and uses it to like block a robot punching him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This might be useful. I'm gonna take it with me." And he runs. He gets a set of straps for it because he's wearing it like a backpack to get across the ropes. He
Hmm.
got that strap from the same place that he was able to get whatever gadget, whatever he used to get out of the tunnel without everyone running over him.
Right.
Because we've established in the first season that he's not a particularly fast runner.
Yes, we did.
But taking that with him on the off chance it helps really turns out to be a good play because they come up to a minefield. And these mines are big enough to launch people into the air, but they don't kill anyone because this is a cartoon.
Yep.
But just to be clear, if an explosion is big enough to launch you in the air, it's gonna fucking break your legs.
Tear him off, probably.
Yeah, I mean, people like you know how in movies like explosions knock people down.
Hmm.
If an explosion shockwave is enough to knock you down, that is a serious injury. That kind of concussive force is not something you can just handle.
Right.
We think being knocked down by a force is like being pushed down by someone, but it's not the same at all. A force, a shock wave is basically air being displaced at the speed of sound, and you're getting hit by enough force of that to knock you down. That's hitting your head at that force. That's hitting like your torso at that force. That has some implications health wise. But this is a cartoon, and I'm ruining everyone's fun. But Deku realizes that he's not going to be able to get through the minefield fast enough to get first place, and he's not content to just get first place. He is trying to make a name for himself. So he uses the big metal thing as a shovel to dig up a pile of mines, and everyone else is going slow because of the mines. And Bakugo slows down because he's a stupid asshole and decides to punch Icy Hot instead of just flying past and winning.
Yep.
He's such an asshole that he would rather try and punch someone who isn't even his rival. He's literally never said two words to Icy Hot before, but now, you with the face.
Icy hot bastard.
And so they stop and like have a slap fight.
Yep.
And long enough for Deku to make a pile of what looks like 15 or 20 mines,
Hmm.
and he fucking jumps on it like a sled. If you ever played if you ever played like Tribes, you ever played the Tribes series or or Zelda, you can do a thing where like you turn on a shield and set off an explosion. It works really well at Zelda, where you can use your bomb spell to like launch yourself in the air.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah,
And
he
he
like
fucking yeets himself up up in front of Bakugo and Todoroki. They see him flying through because the explosion lights up the sky.
yep.
Doesn't hurt Deku though because G forces do not exist in this world. I mean, this is some Indiana Jones Crystal Skull level physics.
Oh god, I've not seen that movie. Coming soon to a podcast near you.
Oh, that is that one. Oh, that's a movie right there, buddy. But you've seen the video. But you've at least seen the video of him using the refrigerator to survive the nuclear explosion.
Nope.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be a real treat.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But then midair, Deku realizes he's not gonna clear the finish line. So he uses the strap that he got from somewhere before he lands to hit the ground where all three of them are gonna be.
mm-hmm.
And make a second explosion to throw him forward again and throw Todoroki and Bakugo to the side.
Yep.
Which I thought which that is the most hype. That's the most hype moment in the series so far, I think.
Yep.
That moment
Absolutely
right there.
badass.
I mean, that surpasses him hole punching the building. That surpasses All Might changing the weather. It's just an awesome scene in the movie.
Yeah.
This is the season. This is the moment. I think this is when I sent you a message in Discord like, season 2 is hype.
Yeah. And also, it kind of, so up until this point, Deku's been kind of timid. And right here, he shows no mercy. He's like, I'm winning this shit. So that I really did enjoy that. Not only, as you said, it was a really badass scene, but it also showed a bit of character development for him. So super into it.
And also, Bakugo realizes that Deku beat him again.
Yep.
The despair. Ah, so good. No. Just give me all of Bakugo's sadness.
Yeah. That's my second favorite part of this episode. After Deku comes in first, it goes Deku, Todoroki, Bakugo, 1, 2, 3. And of course, Deku's crying, and All Might just face palms. He's like, "Oh, stop it! Stop your crying!" But my favorite part is Yaoyorozu crosses the finish line, and she happens to look behind her, and Mineta is stuck to her back.
Yeah, how did she not realize that he was stuck to her? Do you think she knew that he was there and she just ran anyway?
Maybe she
Because
just.
I mean, I feel like I thought she could like grow spikes on her back or something like that, just porcupine them off.
Yeah, maybe she just didn't realize it. I don't know, but he's just stuck to her ass the whole time. Oh, Mineta's the man.
So after the race is over, the announcer starts explaining the next show, and it's an interesting scene with Midnight. Is her name?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I thought to myself, imagine in our world if the announcer for the Olympics was like a female special forces soldier in a skin tight leotard. This is the world they live in. Like a Street Fighter character is just in charge of the Olympics.
Yeah, Cammy with that freaking, that outfit.
Yeah, from the new Street Fighter, not that old 32-bit shit.
Bullshit. So, our next episode, we are going to be talking about episode 17, which is part 2 of the sports festival. I believe at least the first half of season 2 is the sports festival. So
yeah, it's pretty lengthy.
It's pretty awesome. Also, next episode, we are going to be talking about the New Mutants movie, which Jeremy has already seen to this point. I have not. So apparently we are in for a treat. So
watch this series.
Yes.
If you haven't, it's kind of weird you're listening to this. If you're not sold on it yet, you probably don't like our taste in stuff.
You like the sweet, sweet sounds of our voice. That's fine too.
That's very legitimate.
Yeah, come hang out with us. It's fine.
I sometimes listen to myself. Just drift away.
We do appreciate everyone watching, giving us likes and dislikes and everything, comments on YouTube. If you can, head over to iTunes, give us a 5-star. We're on Amazon Podcasts. Just search Media Men, Google Play, any of those. And if you can, just give us a good little rating. And even if you give us a good rating and we can improve somewhere, just type that out and we'll give you a little shout out here. So again, thanks for listening, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Until next time.